Okay, so this video is going to go through how to structure an introduction, and I can guarantee you if you follow this from 1 to 5 in your own essays, you will be on the right track. So the first thing you need to do is you need to link to the question. Now we know that the question for this assessment is, how does Star Wars: A New Hope teach us about life? Now I've given you an example for each step, and I've put something like, composers can provide us with a deeper understanding of the world and its inhabitants. The next thing you need to do, and this is really important, so don't skip it, is to contextualize. Now this word here looks a lot scarier than what it actually means. To contextualize is to simply explain something, to provide more information. And why you do this is because you need to pretend that the marker has never seen Star Wars before, they have never been taught it, and they know nothing about it. So you need to explain how exactly composers can provide us with a deeper understanding of the world and its inhabitants. It's no good to simply put it there and not explain it, and you will be pulled up on it, okay? So what I've done is to explain it more. I've said film enables composers to create an authentic experience that reflects real life. An audience is able to learn valuable life lessons as they relate to the fictional characters and the journeys they must undertake. So all I've done there is simply expand on this point here, this one here. And I've said composers, they actually can teach us about real world, real life situations through film. And all this contextualization does is simply expand on that point. So you must do it, okay? Next thing you need to do is also important, and that is you need to acknowledge the composer and the text. George Lucas uses his film Star Wars: A New Hope to teach audiences important life lessons. Now, just a little tip. In the introduction, you must refer to the composer with their full name. So first name and last name, and these need 2 capital letters as it's a noun. Over here, Star Wars: A New Hope. Again, you must capitalize the nouns, okay? Or just capitalize the whole title, in fact. So that's a little tip. Once you've acknowledged the composer and text, you then need to introduce your concepts, and you have 3 of them: teamwork, free will, and power. So I've said he helps audiences see the world from a unique lens and achieves this through the concepts teamwork, free will, and power. And then finally, but most importantly, is the thesis statement. Now let me stress how important the thesis statement is. Once you've picked your thesis statement, and mine is, he teaches us that human spirit is a powerful force that can conquer oppression, and that's one of the ones that I've given you. Please use one of the statements that I have given you, okay? And this needs to be in your introduction, and it must feature at the end. Sometimes I've said it can be at the beginning of the paragraph, but I'm going to say for this assessment task, let's put it at the end, okay? Now, I've put it all together to show you how it's going to look in a paragraph. Composers can provide us with a deeper understanding of the world and its inhabitants. Film enables composers to create an authentic experience that reflects real life. An audience is able to learn valuable life lessons as they relate to the fictional characters and the journeys they must undertake. George Lucas uses his film Star Wars: A New Hope to teach audiences important life lessons. He helps audiences see the world from a unique lens through the concepts teamwork, free will, and power. Ultimately, George Lucas teaches us that the human spirit is a powerful force that can conquer oppression. And that's that. That's the introduction. So I've color-coded each step. So link to question, contextualize, acknowledge the composer and the text, introduce concepts, and then introduce your thesis statement. And you can see how that looks once it's in the paragraph. So if you follow this from 1 to 5, exactly like I have, like I said, you'll be on the right track. Also, anything that I've written here, apart from the thesis statement, which I've already given you, you cannot take or use as your own. That's plagiarism. You may, however, use this to give you a general idea of what your introduction needs to include. So you can take this, because I've already given you them, but everything else you need to do yourself, okay? And you will notice that a lot of this comes from the other thesis statements that I'm not using. Now, to make that more clear, what I've done is I've used the other thesis statements as evaluative points, as contextualization, or as linking to the question. Okay, so you are allowed to do that, and that's fine, as long as you have your main thesis and that doesn't change. If this is still confusing you, please email me, awatson6, and I will clarify it more for you.